Hey guys, how we doing? It's Amy here, Centre Director of New Youth for Christ, bringing you today's Life Words video, bringing you the very first of our new Life Words series as we go back to the very beginnings, as we start to read together from the very start. What might God want to show us and teach us about who He is and what it means to follow Him as we look together in the next weeks at the very beginning of the story, the book of Genesis. Today's reading is Genesis chapter 1 and 2, a story well known to so many of us. God creates the world. What might God want to say to us today as we read these chapters, as we explore the big questions of our origins, the very beginnings? The first words of the whole of the Bible. In the beginning, God. Sometimes I'm asked, what was there before God? Nothing. Nothing. In the beginning, God. Before time, before space, before anything else, God was there, hovering over the nothingness. His spirit, it says, hovered over the waters. It's a way of saying over the chaos, over the nothingness. And with a word, God spoke, bringing everything into being. Let there be light. And there was. We know the story. God says, let there be, let there be, let there be. And with a word, things come into being. Time, space, history. A God who speaks. A God whose words bring transformation. Who bring something out of nothing. Order into chaos. Light into darkness. You know, God creates everything that we see. And what's the final thing He makes? Mankind. Now, it's really important we see this. God doesn't make us because He's lonely. God doesn't make us because He needs to. God chooses to make everything. It's out of an overflow of who He is, we come into being. God already in perfect relationship. God's the Father speaking, the Spirit hovering over the waters. Later on in Scripture, it will speak of Jesus being present at creation too. God, the perfect Trinity, speaks everything into existence. Everything, us, made because God chooses to do so. Out of nothing, God creates. And what were we supposed to do? We were supposed to look after everything else in creation, to make sure things happened as they were supposed to, and to spend time with God. It's really interesting. We're called human beings, but so often we just spend all of our time doing. That wasn't what we were supposed to do. Yes, we were given tasks to do in creation, but there was something too of spending time with the one who knew us, who made us, who created us. Out of nothing, God made us, an overflow of His love, bringing purpose out of nothingness. Chaos became ordered. Darkness became light. Why did God create? Because He wanted to. He wanted relationship. He wanted to breathe us into being. He wanted to enjoy us with all of creation. What does it mean when we see that we were a choice by God to create? Not an accident, but everything perfectly created by the Creator God. You and I are not here because some atoms came together in a certain way and then created the world. We're here because God created us, made with a purpose, made from an overflow of God's love, made with tasks to do, made for relationship with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, made for each other, that we might enjoy God and know Him together. In the beginning, God. Everything starts with God. Everything starts with His words. Everything starts out of relationship. Do you know this God today? Do you know the purpose He's made you for? Do you know you're not an accident? God breathed His life into Adam's nostrils. God breathes His life into you today. What purpose has He made you for? What are you going to do about it? Guys, read the passage for yourself, Genesis 1 and 2. What jumps out for you today? Drop your questions in the comments. Tune in with Kweku and I on Friday as we look at these passages together and answer some of your questions then. In the beginning, God. Why not start your journey with God in the beginnings of His Word, that we might know more of our purpose and our hope and our reason for living. Guys, thanks for joining in. We'll see you soon with the next Life Words video.